And welcome back to the WGL EU Season 5 Match Week 6. Apparently the match week of upsets. We'll have to see if that keeps true to trend into our next game, which will be DRL up against WASD Gaming. And what can we make of this one so far?
Well, DRL did a good job yesterday of putting the pain to school bus as well, just like Drew Leprechaun's did. Yeah, this is a bit of a trend these days, right? But that was a 5-4 scoreline. An impressive result for them for sure. I mean, they didn't end up winning it, but they got real close and took a point for them, which is great stuff. We're kind of thinking we should have probably beat them 5-0. I guess that's what it's going through their minds right now. But yeah, a good game for sure. WSD Gaming's had quite a long break since they last played, which was against Wusa, which was all the way back on the 16th of December or something like that. So maybe they've used that time constructively, or maybe they've used that time to, like me, eat food and sit on the couch and watch TV. But I hope for the first.
Each their own, yeah. We hope it's not the latter. And maybe they'll come out like DTQ. Who knows? It's a bit of a day of not being able to predict too much. And Alex, talking about predictions, if people at home want to get involved with a prediction, how can they do so?
Well, in order to get involved with us, we've got a very nice system in place. Basically, you can get to us with the hashtag WGLEU if you're on Twitter. Do be sure to follow our account as well, which is, of course, WGLEU. And you can tweet at me. You can also just write with the hashtag, and I can see all of those. And if you've got some good feedback on the game as well, it's always good to see that. We had some very interesting responses to the school bus result, and hoping to see some more in the next game coming up, DRL up against WASD. So that should be fun. Also, Facebook is another avenue you can follow if you're interested. Do get us at facebook.com/WGLEU as well, as that's another. If you haven't got the Twitter, you can do us on Facebook. We've got it all. And talking of everything, we also have YouTube. If you guys are intrigued in watching the videos, I saw someone in Twitch chat was saying, "Wait, that's the score. I'm going to have to go back and watch that." You certainly can, and you can do that on our YouTube channel, which is exactly, you've guessed it. It's youtube.com/WGLEU. So do get us on all avenues, guys. And don't forget, once again, to leave your feedback and opinions on this game, as well as Twitch chat, over on the hashtag WGLEU. And I'll see you after game one.
Well, speaking of that, I think we need to interview you a little bit here, because we've got a little bit of time. You know, the teams are just getting themselves ready. You know, they're getting prepared. We don't want to rush them. We want to talk to you, Alex. How are you feeling in your first show? You know, you're taking Melly's place for now. Yeah, she'll be back eventually.
Mr. Melly.
I think it's Melly Part 2. It's not really taking a place. It's like an alter ego, the male version of Melly.
You reckon? Do you feel good being that?
I'll be the male version of Melly. I think. I mean, I've got the black hair, and I don't look quite as good.
You're good on horses and stuff.
I am good with horses. No. But I was like, can I blag that? No, I can't. No. I mean, I don't look quite as good in glittery tops.
No, that's true.
I don't know, man. That's questionable. I've seen you in a few small numbers.
I can deal with, but when there's like glitter involved, it gets.
You'll be good on St. Christopher's Day, man. You'll be really good.
Christopher's Day.
Yeah, it's a great day in Cologne.
I can pull that
put
off.
some sequins on.
Yeah.
That'd be majestic. I think, ladies and gents, if we do get the beautiful Alex back with us at one point, we'll get him a nice glittery top. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag WGLEU. Glitter, sequins, anything.
Melly's more like the latex kind of outfit thing, and he's going to be more the glitter outfit.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
That's a bit much. He's an innocent young boy who's just had to join us.
Start with a glittery top.
It's just,
and then maybe
build up.
It's just plastic. Come on.
It's just plastic.
It's a bit of fun and games.
Come on.
Wow, we're going to introduce a safe word here at this rate. But that aside, wow, that's taken a nosedive really swiftly. Alex, are you looking forward to being back with us maybe another time?
Some guns are plastic. That's just plastic. Come on.
Oh, okay. Are they?
I don't know.
Oh, you can like try and black that one as well.
No, I
think you can like
3D printed gun now.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's
you can
true.
do it.
Go me.
Pretty sure that it's just like a cap gun. It just goes bang with a flag.
I'm really not in a position.
I've seen
to
it in cartoons before.
Well, we've suitably got off topic. If you have enjoyed our guest co-caster and guest kind of coming into us, give him some love at Machini TV on Twitter. He is actually a commentator in his full-time job.
I thought we just got him off the street.
I know. We gave him a shirt and
Yeah.
just set him up. But do you think maybe you'd ever consider casting World of Tanks, maybe?
Well, from considering the game I've just watched, it certainly looks like it's got the excitement that I look for in a game like this, so we never know. I mean, surprise results is kind of what I love in esports, and the fact that I've just sat down in my first World of Tanks game and I've just seen, like, what did you describe it? England winning the World Cup?
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean,
pretty much. Yeah.
Unbelievable result.
Yeah,
for DTQ.
Pretty phenomenal.
Insane.
DDQ, congratulations once again. If you did miss that one, as Alex said earlier, do head over to YouTube. obviously following the standard URL with WGL EU. And check out the VOD, which will be up probably tomorrow, I can imagine, maybe the day after, depending on how much sleep Kelly can get. But that aside, we'll be starting to look towards that second game of the day, and it will be an absolute cracker. Drooling Leprechauns against WSD Gaming. Now, these two know each other quite some time, in a way, different teams, different names, various mixtures in here. Who are our thoughts on this one with?
Well, yesterday Drooling Leprechauns played very, very well against School Bus. It really, really showed us some great tactics. Showed us not the best games in the world, but the thing is, Drooling Leprechauns struggled so much this season so far. They got their act together recently against Momentum, and now they're into this game against School Bus. They did well there, so that's 2 games on the trot that they've played well. Same as WSD Gaming, they had a few issues, but they seem to have got it kind of sorted, and they managed to beat Wusu, of course beat School Bus as well. So they're also kind of on the right track. As I said, struggled at the beginning of the season. For instance, they had to play Virtus Pro and they managed to lose that one. But I'm very looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing an improved Drooling Leprechauns. And looking forward to seeing if WSD can actually also ride that trend. A lot of these teams who are at the bottom of the table heading up.
And that's a big factor into this one, is how well they've kind of come off that break here. We've seen a little bit of DRL, but WSD Gaming, as you said, have had quite the break. Guys at home, predictions on that one. Have they been doing the homework? Have they taken a break? Talking to Carmen a little bit during the Christmas holidays, he seemed pretty involved still, pretty much invested into the scene as expected. Carmen is quite the vocal man here, currently on the WSD Gaming side. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him around in this, either in the background or actually playing in this one. Looking at the lineup, though, what's our first map we're going to be treated to?
So we're going to be seeing Himmelsdorf first, where WSD Gaming is going to be attacking, and then our second map is going to be, I believe, Cliff, where DRL is going to be defending. So I guess the logic behind that is, I'm not sure about Cliff, Himmelsdorf. WSD Gaming have played pretty well. They did a good job against Virtus Pro, also against Momentum. So they're kind of thinking, okay, they're doing well. They're also maybe thinking Drooling Leprechauns struggle against Momentum on this one. Yesterday, Drooling Leprechauns did very well on Cliff. They won both their defending side, which is the side they first picked up. So kind of these lines coming through these teams. There's a lot of strategy behind what maps they pick before the game even starts. It's half the game. Picking the right map so you can get off onto a good foot and get yourself going, get yourself some good results straight away. But yeah, Himmelsdorf was our first map. Lineups are being locked in. Of course, Drooling Leprechauns are going to be defending first. Triple AMX 5100, KV3, Waffentrager, Teeth 29, and an IS3. It's nice to see those tanks. We've been seeing a lot of unusual tanks and a lot of quick tanks. Nice to see some heavy tanks coming back into the equation. Double IS3, double 5100, triple IS3, double 5100, IS from the side of WSD Gaming. So clearly going for a lot of firepower and a lot of alpha damage.
And last time we got to actually watch Himmelsdorf, they utilised a lot of the hill. They played a very different style in a different tournament from the WGLU. And we theorised maybe it's because it's not as necessarily prestigious, has that much weight on it just yet in comparison to the WGLEU. But do you think we might actually see a little bit of an introduction towards utilising the entirety of the map rather than just the standardised play? Yeah,
but you got to remember that was on the C tournament. It wasn't the entirety of WSD Gaming.
That's true.
But they had the Killzer in there, who's their main shot caller, to be honest. So it could very much be the same. And we've seen some other teams as well use that hill. But they haven't picked a Waffentrager, which is kind of where you want to have that, where you want to put the hill, the tank on the hill, put it down below, also use those bushes. The Waffentrager's got great camera value, can shoot, reverse, and be unspotted very quickly. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, maybe they've innovated, maybe they come up with something interesting. My bet would be towards the left side. WSD Gaming's been experimenting with that left side a little bit. Maybe looking at TCM Gaming's previous results on there, and also Na'Vi. I mean, they have been, thought to be favoured towards the left side cap a little bit. So that's where I'm going to be putting my attention towards.
Well, let's see if they do the same. We are now moments away from getting into game number 2. This will be the final game of the day, so get those thoughts through to us on all of those social media avenues, as Alex has told you. Twitter using that hashtag WGLEU, and Facebook just the same. So guys, let's start looking towards getting into game and looking at what the result could be here. So in the north, in red, it will be DRL, the Finns looking to upset WSD Gaming, the melting pot of countries in this one. And in the south, they're going to have to go on the attack here. And what are we seeing in the way of the beginning? Actually, we are seeing the hill.
Yeah, we are seeing the hill.
Yay!
You're right.
Theory is correct.
Fair enough. I'm surprised they didn't pick a Waffenträger just for that.
It would make sense.
That kind of like bush below the hill in A8, but they probably just want to kind of go up there and experiment a little bit, see what they can come up with. I mean, you can get some great shots down there. I mean, the big problem with the hill is that you have to contest with tanks in A5, A4 area. They're hull down and they're very hard to deal with. So you've got to rely on Killepit, DRL, or Honor in the dead zone to basically make some great shots towards the left. And it's clear to me that's what they want to go for right now. Their cap in the north is really what they want to execute for. I mean, we've seen a lot of pushes along the D line, pushing up into A3, B3 area, and some tanks going through the middle as well. That's kind of worked for a while. And now they need to innovate, need to try new things, because, once you try something so many times, it does get countered pretty sharpish.
Well, I'm very curious to see how this one pays out. I'm trying to throw my mind back to what we really saw happening throughout the game in the SEE, but at the moment, we are DRL taking a massive amount of damage. Who the hell was that from?
That was Message and Waffenträger just sitting
that's
patiently,
half the HP of an IS-3 gone.
Patiently in the northern corner. 828 damage, 750 average. What a big blow. Straight away for WASD Gaming. That's going to put them on the back foot. Message does get one of his own there. 435 damage landing onto that one. And that's almost half the HP, but DRL are reacting, sending 2 tanks around.
Yeah, and let's see how this one pays off. It's a bit of an attack on all fronts. DRL are in the dead zone, down by that D line, and across the A line, we are seeing Hacky & Co moving to position. Yuhu and Agenti will be in position. Agenti had a phenomenal game yesterday, but let's see if he can keep it up. A lot of damage being just spread out throughout this map. The cap has begun. Hacky and Agoni heading over to the far north side of the cap circle, but I feel as though they may push a little further forward to maybe pressure the others. But in the south, DRL are in the dead zone. Will have to hold on desperately to that D line play coming out of DRL, looking like they want to get that challenge coming across. Honor will be watching the cross, but doesn't get many shots in here. This could be a massive issue as Honor lets a couple of shells fly, and 28 seconds on the cap. It's going to be a hard one to hold here, but Wilkie looking across with Snake Eye Finn. IS-3 and 5100 going to make the play.
These 2 tanks are in big trouble. It's pretty much 4 versus 2. I think they'll get taken down. They might have to go for the kills or get him out of the equation at least. Agorni's up there in the north in support. And there's Dead Zone also in that tank there, and they're absolutely trashing DRL right now, but the cap is still on the way.
The cap has also been slowed down and now stopped. Hacky and Agorni start to make their way across it. Wilkie gets picked up by the Dead Zone, finding a perfect little angle there. And bearing in mind, Honor is barely in this flight. Another 5100 that could be thrown into the pot as Snake Eye Finn takes another shell in the IS-3. This looks like dire times for DRL.
Let's take stock. I think all the teams are pretty much on the same amount of HP. Well, DRL's actually taking a lot more damage even, just because Killepit's on that full HP in the IS-3. He has to get into the game a little bit. Agorni, Hacky, and Nervax are pushing in the north.
Yeah, indeed, and they're looking like they want to mean business now. Agenti cowering in the corner, and he's going to be absolutely decimated by Nervax in that IS-3. Beautifully done. Now for the next target, Sensei, and that's a shell from Agorni coming in strong, near on hitting 400 damage. Hacky or Agorni, any of these guys will finish Sensei off, and he'll be joining the likes of Snake Eye Finn. A Message being the last standing members of DRL in this one. It looks like WSD Gaming have cleaned house here. Beautifully done, losing only 1 tank throughout this. DRL did go down, and that is DRL just getting smashed in this one. And WSD Gaming looking really solid.
A nice all-round play from them, coming from every angle, really putting pressure on every single place was fantastic. Wilkie, Snake Eye Finn was the big turning point, I think, pushing to the middle. Yep. That was a good move by DRL, but what they didn't expect was the dead zone to come around from the north. Agorni also in the IS-3 supporting Nervax as well, and the kills are straight in the immediate vicinity, and just all these tanks surrounded them, took them down. Basically tier 8 tanks for nothing. The kills all eventually went down, but it gave Agorni to the ability to push up and around, take down Agenti, and then move in to take down, for instance, Sensei. And it was just well-rounded individual play and tactical play.
I've got to say, WSD Gaming really giving us a strong performance coming into their first round here, picking up the win on Himmelsdorf, and just looking good overall. Everything fell into place. They were able to completely and utterly make the opponent malleable, pushing them and pulling them to every single position that they had the advantage in. And that's a sort of play that's really impressing me, especially on a map like Himmelsdorf that's not too easy. And I think we need to take a quick look back at that one and just watch it again, because the timing was sublime, and it's very hard to get this down. And as you said, an important moment moment here.
Yeah, Wilkie, Snake Eye Finn, they think they can take down the Killzor because he's lost quite a HP. But they don't realize that the dead zone's there. The Killzor's of course there, but you've also got Killer Pit there in the right-hand side.
Noticed.
It's actually 3 versus 2. Agorni does such a fantastic job keeping those tanks at bay, Sensei at bay. He does 2k damage in this battle. Wilkie does take down the Killzor, but he falls almost immediately. Message goes down in rapid succession, and Snake Eye Finn is pretty much in no man's land. Haki and Agorni push up in the north, while most of the tanks of DRL are in the south, distracted to finish the game off.
I'm amazed. I really am. That was a brilliant start to this one. Strong start for WSD Gaming, and let's see if they can keep that one up. Obviously, another round will come into place, and they will be on the attack again. And if they pull something like that off, I'll be highly impressed. And considering Message did so much damage at the very start, they're literally knocking a tank down to almost half HP in an IS-3, such a vital member. To still be able to overcome that later on in the game is quite impressive. What did we make of the Waffle Tiger in this one?
Well, Drooling Leprechauns have used it on this map before, and it's worked out well for them.
It has, yeah.
But I don't think that was a problem. I mean, yes, Message was on a sliver of HP right at the end, didn't help out. But I think they just got dragged and pulled everywhere, and I'm not sure if the tank would have made much of a difference. I mean, I loved the fact that Agorni in the tier 7 did the most damage out of WASD Gaming, and I think that whole ability of the the BL9s across the board from the RS3s and the ISs to do that 390 damage is just puts so much alpha onto the other team that they really can't do much about it. And then you have the couple of 5100s there just for the burst when you want to push around. The dead zone could get the shots through the houses, and to Wilkie he needed 2, and he could deliver 2 because of those autoloaders in quick succession. So we are ready to get into the next game, of course, and WSD Gaming will be attacking for the second time, and hopefully Drooling Leprechauns will be able to defend a little better.
Well, let's see how they adapt, and this looks like a different beginning from WSD Gaming as well. They're switching things up on the second round. No presence towards the hill this time. What do you think their main focus is here?
Well, I think they're going for something a little bit more standard. The lineup is pretty much the same thing, so they're kind of baiting out Drooling Leprechaun, saying, okay, we might be doing the same thing twice, but actually we're going to go for a different one. 3 5100s, the fast tanks going to the left. I imagine one of them will probably go down the 1 line.
Yep.
You'll see the RIS is going to the middle. One will take the 2 line, make sure that's crossed off, and I think they'll probably end up doing that 6 line push along with the 3 line and see what they can do in that kind of situation. And this is the more standard tactic and something Drooling Leprechauns has kind of prepared to adapt to.
Yeah, and this is when I want to keep our eyes a little, at least in the background, towards what Message can achieve here. Last time, I believe they switched. It may have been Wilkie or something along those lines in this sort of position up in towards the northwest, with Message actually playing in the Waffle Tiger, and he took over the role perfectly, being able to stay alive, be able to sustain the damage for a long time. And I like the way that he's actually sticking with it. I like this positioning from him towards that A2 area if he wants to support, or maybe go for the shots himself down towards maybe B2 as well. Several options available. But now how are they responding to this? How are WSD Gaming going to try and overcome that?
WSD Gaming are kind of grouping up. They're still sending one tank up the 1 line, that's Nervax, but the rest of the tanks are right down, heading up the 6 line, all pushing up, and maybe just go for some sort of blitzkrieg if they can. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. Typically, it does kind of work on city maps because you can focus a lot of tanks into one position, kind of, hammer your way through defensive lines, but still the execution needs to be right. And this is where you'll see teams which have good, classic World of Tank skills, blocking and focus fire, really come into their own. And that's what WSD Gaming need to do to execute this perfectly. They will, kind of rely on the fact that Juhu, for instance, won't be able to get into the fight that quickly, but Wilkie is going to be a real problem with that AMX 5100 in A2.
And Wilkie being a pivotal member is a dangerous thing. We've said it time and time again. He can be pivotal, but he can also be quite a fundamental flaw if he doesn't have a good game. But let's see how he handles this one. I'd like to have maybe seen a tank down by C3 on the corner there. Maybe just have a little bit of presence. I don't necessarily mind the stack towards around that, I don't know, B4 area. I think it's okay, but I quite like to have that little bit of a base of defense a little closer on.
First shell does land quite squarely into the side of the Killzor though. Brings him down a good 300 HP, so kept off a little bit. I'm interested to see what Correx can do in C2. He is playing a T29, so it can do a fair amount of damage, the same as a T32 actually, 320. But it will lack quite a lot more, a little bit more HP, or lack a little bit of HP. Also, not as much armor, and a little bit more awkward to play Orion, but nevertheless a fantastic tier 7 tank if you do play it properly.
Now, what do we make of just, let's take it down to tanks rather than players, Wilkie being the spot in comparison to Message?
Oh, but they are going.
Oh, they might actually crest that corner. If they do, Wilkie doesn't actually have reload just yet either. He's about halfway through it. This could be a good time to push if they decide to. I think they've just halted way in the 5100s.
This would be a great time to push.
It would be perfect. They will have a good solid shot towards Snake Eye Finn and Sensei, and I think they are going to commit. And here we go. First shell does bounce from Snake Eye Finn. That's going to open the floodgates here as Snake Eye Finn is under pressure. Already receives one shell and no crossfire coming in, but Killer Pit takes a huge hit from Message, but he receives one back. So a bit of a 1-for-1 exchange so far.
Oh, this is not going well. The side of WASD Gaming at the moment. DRL are really putting the pain on, but WASD Gaming is responding.
And Wilkie will be back in the battle now, has reload available. Further fire will be coming in on that cross, but he has pressure from the 5100s. Starting to come up that 1 and 2 line, but tanks are starting to fall. A 2-for-1 exchange. Honor and Agorni go down for the sake of Kirex. Was that worth it?
Not at the moment, and at the moment DRL have better positions because they can sit back, they can put the tanks with a lot of HP forward and not be stuck in an awkward position, but you can see the AMX 5100 is pushing Wilkie, and that might give them the crux.
Yeah, Wilkie is down pretty low, 383 HP right now. He could be a bit of a troublesome figure, but Agenti making the split, and actually they're hammering it home. Nervac still on a lot of HP to kills or waiting on shells to be available, but Wilkie tries to push in, gets punished for it as Yoo-Hoo and Snake Eye Finn make their time to shine, but the 5100 from Nervac's coming around the back, doing sensational damage, but will it be enough? Yoo-Hoo is still in this game. That 5100 around the back of Agenti has to go big or go home. It's 3v1. I don't know if he can do this. He has all shells available. Let's see if he can turn the table here. 2 minutes remain for WSD Gaming. Agenti comes in. He's got a good shot on all of these guys. Gets one, receives a shell, should back away, but he's going to stand and fight his ground, and he gets denied. WSD Gaming picking up another victory there, and that looked like it was going to be DRLs, but something fell apart.
That was perfect. Just well the tanks play at the end. Just great stuff from them all around. And we can have a look at the damage quickly. 2k almost coming out from the kills or stepping up for his team from the Drooling Leprechaun side. Agenti does pick up 1.7k damage, but overall, no one really underperformed. Only Agorni, who to be fair was the highest damage deal in the last game, took the most, did the least damage, 436. But yeah, that was, they pushed in. It didn't go so well in the beginning because clearly the positional play was better from Drooling Leprechauns. They could stand still, they could make the first shells. But then Nervax comes into the equation.
And I still want to point out, keep your eyes on Wilkie in the top left. He still didn't have reload available during all of this. Message is almost out of it.
For sure.
And now he's finally got shells available. But by that point, the 5100s in the south have moved to that 1 and 2 line. And I love that flank. They kept the tanks that can sustain a little over towards the right side, down the 3, and the tanks that would fire over towards the east.
But the thing is, what Drooling Leprechauns should have done is just push around. They're 4-3 at the moment.
I think,
they're 4-3 at the moment. Dead Zone, for instance, is kept busy by Wilkie. So when you're in a 4-3 situation, push around, deal with those 3 tanks, then you can take down the dead zone. But Nervax, he was out of position a little bit. He pushes along, he does some good cross shots, and then he comes around. The dead zone's done a lot of damage to Wilkie, so Wilkie has to push forward. He can't deal with Nervax, and then when Nervax around the side, he can just do that 1.7k damage did at the end to finish them all off. And it kind of all just fell in place for WSD Gaming. I'm pretty surprised. I mean, normally the teams go up the 6 line, come around from both angles, but clearly WSD Gaming was bargaining on the fact that they would do enough damage in the initial engagement to kind of scare off Drooling Leprechauns from making their own push.
Yeah, and Alex, how are the people at home finding this one already? Starting off with a 2-0. Were there predictions on Twitter at all? How's Twitch chat looking as well?
Twitch chat, very standard Twitch chat, lots of rects and wows. So, I mean, they're a talkative bunch, but quite small words. Small words for Twitch chat.
I like that. But keep it basic.
Other than that, all is good in the Twitch chat. Not much feedback on Twitter, though, guys. Do get over to the hashtag WGLEU, and I'll be able to read out your responses in little segments like this. I think we did have one response who was saying 5-2 to WASD. That was a prediction. From
looking good for him, at least.
Yeah, I mean, so he's starting strong, but I mean, we don't forget your prediction. What was it? 5-1 for the first game?
Yeah,
ouch, ouch,
you gotta bring that one in. You gotta bring that one in.
I mean, I don't want to say
I buried that prediction somewhere deep within my soul, alright? I'm bringing that back. Okay,
yeah, so predictions aside, and before I get stabbed as soon as we go off screen,
he's from the West Country, don't worry about it.
I've got my cider bottle and some apple. I got some apples if you want, and my combine harvester could be quite tough.
He might give you the key if you're lucky.
I like the reference.
So, anyway, cider aside, it's worth mentioning a lot of you guys are getting really angry that I'm not Melly, and I do apologise that I'm not Melly. However, I need to make it clear to you I'm not stealing her job. I'm simply here because she's feeling a little poorly, and I'm just here to basically make sure there's someone here when the camera cuts to it. So I'm really happy that I can basically just fill a void. That's all I'm here to do. And so I do apologise once more. And someone said I'm wearing my watch on the wrong wrist. And
You are. You're supposed to have it on the left one, mate.
But I'm left-handed. So I can't write with a watch
actually,
on my...
I'm not sure. I think that makes sense, yeah. That kind of makes sense.
So there.
Stop fighting Twitch chat. It never goes well.
Oh, no, I should stop. Anyway, though, guys, I will reiterate one more time. Do be sure to get over to the hashtag WGLEU, as well as Twitter. Of course, we do have Facebook and YouTube. You'll find them with the same address. So do be sure to get over to facebook.com/WGLEU as well, where you'll get updates on all our competitions and various things as they go on through the season.
Sounds pretty good. I wouldn't mind doing that, you know. You're right there, Alex. You're being told off by Twitch chat again. Oh, bless him.
Twitch chat can be brutal.
They're really
be
mean.
honest.
Twitch chat, be nice to Alex. He is feeling for Melly. Melly is currently away, basically, because of family issues. Do send your love to her on Twitter. You know her URL. You know how to get to her. Just send your well thoughts towards her. And for now, give him some love. Come on, he's doing all right, you know. He's trying. He's trying the best he can. You mean bunch of...
He's crying. You don't see it, but he's crying.
There's tears. There is tears.
Cast has this ability to cry with inside of them.
I was just going to say, that was the best cute face I've got. I'm not very
We didn't show it, don't worry.
Oh,
do it again, do it again.
It just looks like I'm kind of struggling to pass.
You're like halfway between Puss in Boots and Shrek.
Oh, wait, could you...
No, I'll take the 50% Puss in Boots. That's
Alrighty, Puss in Boots aside, let's get in towards a bit more Shrekery, and we are into game. 6 minutes in this one to find out if WSD Gaming can make it a 3-0 scoreline. They will be currently in the north, locking down the defence, and in the south on attack, it'll be DRL. The Finns have to step up and get a point on the board.
Yeah, 2 defending losses, not great, but Himmelsdorf, you know, not too bad for attacking, so a good team will be able to win that one, and WSD Gaming has shown to be a pretty strong team. Now, let's see if Adrenaline Leprechauns can be better attackers. Remember yesterday, they weren't that great at Muravanka. They were pretty good there, but they failed to clinch the last round, the tiebreaker, where they lost on the attacking side on Muravanka against School Bus. So they need to work on that attacking side. They are pushing up the 8 line, something we do see leaving Wilkie, one of the shot callers for Adrenaline Leprechauns, back in the base. Been playing very well, but still needs to keep his consistency going. It looks like the 6 line is the option. I think they're going to do what WSD Gaming did last time. Maybe actually go up the 6 line and the 3 line at the same time and go for that split push.
Kind of curious why there's a 5100 just chilling all that way back. I don't know. We'll wait and see if that comes into practice soon enough. But quite the assertive start, I'd say, from DRL. They look like they have a plan up their sleeve at least. And the IS just hovering down the 1 line, the 5100 not too far away either for WSD Gaming. Have to wait and see how these all, you know, the small pieces fall into place in this. And at the moment, kind of curious to see how WSD Gaming want to stop this one. Wilkie's still quite far back though.
Yeah, the best player statistically from Dream Leprechauns sitting quite far back right now, but right now I guess he's not quite in the game. His internet connect. Oh no, he is moving, so it's all good and happy faces for Dream Leprechauns. He'll be getting to position before I'm sure they'll make their first move, which at the moment looks very predominantly towards the 6 line. Wilkie will probably join Snake Guy Finn. As WSD Gaming is in the standard defensive position. Only little strange thing is that Gorn is over towards the left, maybe to counter out any tank that pushes up there. They were very afraid of, you know, what Nervax did in their team against Dream Leprechauns, which was to push around and flank with the AMX 5100. So they kind of want to mitigate that one. But all tanks heading up the 6 line.
Let's see how this one pans out. The IS-3 is leading the way. No surprise there. Message will be on the front lines once they crest this corner. And the first shell comes out. It doesn't connect, but Message taking a bit of a beating on this one. But all tanks have made it across. Only 1 or 2 shells make it more as Kirex receives over 600 damage there. And now 27 seconds on the cap. This might be a fast game.
That was great, actually, from Dream Leprechauns. Didn't receive that much damage, and some fantastic side shots definitely helped them out there. Almost a 50-50 split in terms of damage. Now, Gorny will have to come from the south. They have Wilkie there to defend, though, and of course, an IS versus an AMX 5100 isn't a fair fight. You also see the dead zone coming into the middle, and it will be about that middle area. Can they decap? It's very hard to decap from a Hacky to Killzone, Nervax, Honors, and Killer Pits. positions, but you need to get it from both sides. Push through the middle and come from that 3-4 line position and get this on the way. They got 7 seconds to do it.
Well, they got to get moving fast. 6 seconds. This could be over before it began, and no reset in sight. 3 seconds left. WSD Gaming, what are you doing? Stop giving the game away, and DRL might have just done enough. They've done it. They got this one sorted before it even started. That's unbelievable.
I did not expect that at all.
I don't. Do they realise how long it takes to cap, do you reckon?
No, I just think there's like, I mean, there is a fine line, to be fair. I mean, you basically need to hit one shot and without sacrificing too much, because I mean, everyone can decap basically, but you don't want to be in a position where you're decapping but you've lost all your HP. So you load HE and you go for that one shot, and if you don't make it, it's like, well, you've lost the game. But that's what happens.
I know you're trying to be nice here, but come on, WSD Gaming, what?
It was bad timing all around. I think you have to have a backup plan, but Dead Zone should have been quicker around. Gorney also right over towards that left side, and that was so simple from DRL. I mean, WSD Gaming had more complicated tactics, but DRL just pushed straight through the 6 line and went to the cap, so fair enough to them.
That was kind of terrifying. Look at it again. Blink and you might miss it, guys.
See, look, there's 450 damage. Good roll for Nervax. Message doesn't receive the second shell.
Honor taking a lot on the cross as well.
Corrects in the IS, big deal. It's a tier 7, and Honor receiving a lot. They should have taken a lot more damage. It wouldn't have made any difference because it was the cap that actually did it, but still, you need to hit those shells. I think they should have hit another 2. It would have certainly given them some, leeway when they had to push in.
But how much can we read into that? Because that just seemed like, I wouldn't say luck, but it worked out to the best that it could for them.
Yeah.
I.e. a very quick cap with no decap in sight. Can they depend on that a second time? Or should they depend on it a second time?
It's quite funny because Himmelsdorf and Steps is really turning out to be a pretty close map. You wouldn't expect it because the one's open and one's city, the most city map you can find. But you can see the cap is like the main focus for these teams, and it's very, very hard to deal with because you do have to commit around the corner. The trouble is that the team that goes for the cap has to commit into it, and through that committal, they'll either win it or lose it. They'll take a lot of damage and they'll lose it, or they won't take that much damage and they'll win it because they'll have more HP than the other team as they push around. So we can read into it a little bit, but I'm not sure if WSD Gaming is going to fall for the same thing twice.
It's certainly up in the air, and Alex, if people do want to get involved, what's the best way? Is there a hashtag maybe they can utilize? It stops me plugging it, and it's all down to you.
Wow, you're absolutely spot on. The word hashtag, that's exactly what you guys need to do, and you still aren't doing it. Obviously, it's kind of not as exciting as the first game so far, but WSD Gaming still starting as they mean to go on, and I think you guys maybe need to give me some more predictions. Of course, we've only had one prediction so far. One of you thinks you have a result in your mind, and I mean, don't forget, the expert got it wrong. Maybe you guys can do better than him. See if you can beat Ollie. I think we should throw a second hashtag in. Hashtag beat Ollie. If you want to... Try and
Shots
see
fired.
if you can beat the score, or beat the prediction, of Oliver Maxfield. Other than that, though, guys, do be sure to get over to the Twitter as well and follow the channel if you fancy it.
I must say, though, there is someone who is actually, excuse me, we're both coughing, it's terrible, who's tweeted through something that did make me laugh. His name is actually Bacon Sensei, so already he's... quite a good person. Exactly, that's 2 very good combinations of things. And amazing play by WC Gaming. Unreal to watch, such good gameplay compared to random games. And I know sometimes we do sound harsh, i.e. what we said just then about, why couldn't DRL or, vice versa, WC Gaming stop that. We're comparing it into that top 0.01%. Saying it's a bad play is, overall not exactly correct, but, it's all... Relative to the actual, percentage that these guys are playing at. So, anyway, back into the game. We are in battle number 4. And so far, it's going to be DRL in the south in red on the attack. And in the north in blue, it'll be WSD Gaming trying to defend this one. Currently leading 2-1 in this. It's first to 5, so it's a long road ahead of these boys. But what are we seeing so far from DRL?
Very interesting move from... I'll go to WSD Gaming just quickly. I mean, DRL is doing pretty much the standard tactic right now. I mean, they're not the 8 line, but we've seen a lot of that kind of play towards the left side. On the other hand, WSD Gaming kind of really gambling on the fact that DRL is going to come from the hill, which they're definitely not doing. All their tanks are sitting below. Agoni's got the 8 line on the cross, as well as, I believe, the IS3 there sitting back, played by a Hacky. Killabit also in that position. So interesting start. I think there will be changing it up, though. I think they'll be going back to their normal defensive positions once they realise that Drooling Leprechauns aren't going to come from that hill.
And you're quite correct to point out WASD Gaming in this one. Kind of unique as well. We didn't see much of this. Actually, no, we did in the SEE. I can't remember who did it in the northeast side, and it worked out for them, but quite luckily, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just a play up the 8 line that they were able to
Yeah,
hammer.
they caught them out on the side.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what team it was, but yeah, I remember the tactic well. And Drooling Leprechauns are kind of surprised right now because where Message is, he could have possibly been spotted. He hasn't been, and let's see how long it takes for Drooling Leprechauns to actually catch on to that fact. The quicker they do, the better position they'll be in. They could literally sit in that cap about 150 meters in front of Message and win this game within 30 seconds because the WASD Gaming side wouldn't be able to decap. But they haven't realized that right now. They're still a little bit tentative, and that M6 as well. I didn't see that.
I was about to say, what do we make of
Juhu
this?
with the M6. I mean, tier 6 American heavy tank. I'm sure everyone's played it to get up the heavy tank line. It's not too bad, and perhaps the best heavy tank you can pick if you want a bit of HP firepower. But it does get crushed pretty quickly, and I would prefer maybe the KV3.
So, what do we think of Message still rocking out in the old Waffle Tiger? Do you think it still goes place here?
Yeah, I mean, Message loves his Waffle Tiger. He had one really superb game in it, and well, a few really superb rounds in it, and decided to stick with it. I don't think it's a bad pickup at all, as long as he plays it right and he keeps himself cool. But WST Gaming are back into those standard positions just in time as well. I think they've got themselves into a perfect place to deal with Drooling Leprechauns. Cap is underway, though. That's not great, actually. I mean, the 5100 has got up north, but he hasn't been spotted at the same time, so yeah, not going too well for WSD Gaming just based on that capping point.
Yeah, and this is just a smart read into it, maybe. We'll have to wait and see how WSD Gaming actually break themselves back in now from that north coming down to stop that cap. They've got Killer Pit and Agoni in a good spot, maybe to get a couple of shells in if needed. The IS-3, I guess, has a fairly decent angle to where Juhu would be, and it can still side scrape to an extent. Message, however, could get shells in if he's not careful. And as you can hear and see, it's certainly coming through.
Ooh, but loads of tanks going towards the center, and Message being over to the right, Agenti being over to the left. They do kind of have a good advantage in terms of HP in one place, but they do have to drive for a very long way to find it.
Yeah, Juhu does go down quite swiftly there. Jack's still in the cap circle now with a little more cover, but there's the reply kill. Juhu for honor, bit of a difference, and you can hear that Waffle Tiger going off in the background. That's a Message, but the killsword does go down. So WC Gaming are losing numbers quite swiftly, and this cap is continuing. Agoni is the biggest threat now towards Jack, but he's being held back by Snake Eye Fin, Sensei, Agenti, who comes in with a shot. Now 15 seconds on the cap. This could be changing very quickly.
I think this is game over right now for WC Gaming unless they do pull off something extraordinary. Nervax maybe be able to get the decap. Jack's got a tank in front of him though, and he will do it, but he'll die for the same score. And Hacky, Killer Pit, the 2 left for WST Gaming, and 6 remain for Drooling Leprechauns.
Yeah, and this played out almost in essence to the way we may see steps play out. You're drawing them into the cap circle, taking the shots on them, and it was very well done. Killer Pit and Hacky, the last 2 alive. This looks like it's going to be a 2-2 scoreline at the end of this one. DRL maintaining the numbers and the damage, beautifully played by them in the end. A perfect way of pulling WSD Gaming out of position. However, Killer Pit and Hacky not going to go down without a fight. Going to try and get some damage done, some damage dealt. Certainly deny the quickest time here, or at least in this round, as Hacky now last man alive. He's got a lot of tanks to deal with, and I think he knows this one's pretty much over.
Yeah, he'll die any second now. Agenti making a little bit of a meal of it as the Sensei, but finally does fall, bringing the score all even to a piece on our first map, Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, 2-2 there. Nicely done by both teams. I think it's quite even. Both played out very differently as well. I quite like that. A lot of variation in the play.
Yeah, I mean, in that round, WST Gaming clearly went for a gamble. They thought Drooling Leprechauns would come off the hill, thinking, okay, so they came from below, maybe they're going to go from above. That's a gamble they played, and it simply didn't pay off, because when they found out and they reacted, they went to the left side, they weren't in the right position. Yes, they had the MX-1500 A1, A2, but they didn't have a Gorny, for instance, in the eyes all the way over towards the left where Message should be. So also this move, pushing through the middle, it just played into the hands of Drooling Leprechauns, and they kind of had to do it because they needed to stop that cap.
And I like it. We've seen this sort of play. You said that Na'Vi do actually quite like that south cap as well, that we might see it coming into effect. And that's exactly what happened. And the positioning coming out from DRL was very well rounded, very well timed. They knew exactly where to reinforce, where the vulnerable points were, and it was just nicely done overall. So congratulations on that one, bringing it back to 2 apiece. So, Alex, how are people's predictions going through? How are the tweets looking? Is it looking like we're on track here?
Certainly on track. There's a lot of actually feedback from the prior game. You know, the incredible DRL, you blink and you miss it game.
Yep.
We've got a lot of people saying that was kind of stupid. We've got an amazing play actually from this previous game saying amazing play from WASD. This is unreal to watch. Such good play compared to random games. And that's, of course, from your main man, Bacon Sensei. But other than that, we do have Roland saying, wait, what? Was that the cap? I didn't even have time to enjoy a cup of tea. I think that's a fantastic summary from the previous game.
Is.
But we should obviously move on into the game that's currently in hand. And of course, Twitch chat with as many wows as you would expect. And very little else. I think at the moment, people are still looking for codes, which is, I mean, good on you for trying, but it's not going to happen. No codes currently in chat today. However, you can, of course, sit back and watch the stream as you all are doing as well. Great to have you guys, though, on the hashtag. It's nice to be able to follow along. We have a couple of predictions actually coming in now saying, I think this will go 5-4, but no idea which way.
Yeah, it feels
how
like
are you
that.
guys feeling about that?
It kind of does feel exactly like that. These teams are very even, but in different strengths. That they both bring out very unique styles, and it works.
But Drooling Leprechauns, they had yesterday to warm up in practice, and they had a good results as well. You can see that they're a confident team, and they're a better defensive team, in my opinion. So I don't know how it's going to go on our next map, Cliff, but WSD Gaming have their work cut out for them. Yeah,
Alex, where are you going to put your predictions towards if you'd dare to make one? What are you going to say? Give us a new kid to the block opinion.
New kid to the block, first glance of World of Tanks.
Yep. See if you can beat Ollie.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
It's 2-2 now.
It's going to happen.
First
You're going to get beginner's luck.
WSD Gaming or DRL?
If this was any other game that I cast, I'd say the team that's coming back. So DRL.
Okay, so you're going to see with DRL maybe a 5-3, 5-4?
I'm going to say DRL pick it up in a 5-4. I think Haldor Arneson, I'm sorry I butchered your name, who was the guy saying 5-4, he's probably got it right.
Okay, we're going to stick with him. So thank you for your prediction, Haldor. Keep them coming through on Twitter. Use that hashtag WGLEU. It keeps Alex busy. Otherwise, we don't know what to do with him. We might have to fire him. But we like him joining us for now, so do stay tuned. We'll be back in a very short amount of time, a quick 5-minute break to allow the teams times to get ready for that next map. And welcome back to WGL EU. We are now moments away from starting into map number 2 between DRL and WSD Gaming. You guys on Twitter have been getting involved in your numbers. Thousands is a bit of a push, isn't it?
I thought you said droves. I thought you were going to go for droves.
I was going to, but I couldn't remember if it was droves or droves, because my
Really?
brain's a little slow right now. But yeah, I didn't want to go for it, but thanks for now
Droves.
highlighting it. Thank you. Shut up. Thank you very much. But how is all going in the social media front there? He just
Watch out.
fell out of his chair. You're right.
Oh, I'm so glad that wasn't on camera. Whoa.
Look at the panic on
I
your
just
face.
I just had a wobble. I thought I was about to. Whoa, okay, deep breaths. What did you ask me? I was busy falling over. I'm so sorry.
Just saying, how's it going over there in the social media?
Well, badly, evidently,
Badly,
as
yeah.
I've been falling over everywhere.
Hashtag bring back Melly.
Hashtag bring back Melly, exactly. Hopefully she'll be here for the next one. We can only hope for my sake before I fall out of this chair again. Anyway, falling out chair aside, guys, you're going to be sick of hearing it, but it's really great to have you guys interacting with us. We've had some good fun. We've even had Melly contributing, saying, I miss you guys. Thanks for jumping in. So, I mean, Melly obviously watching, not quite able to make it, but it's good that she's still contributing. So you say you want Melly? She's still here, guys. Say hello to her. She's in Twitch chat. And give her your love.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Give us some love, and be nice to Alex. He's getting really sad in the
He's already
like,
damaging himself enough, guys.
He's
You
started
don't
to
want
fall
any
off a chair.
worse.
He was actually
wouldn't do
telling us
well
like
on a
everyone's
horse.
so mean. They're being mean to me in Twitch chat. I still just want you guys to Photoshop a picture of Melly and Machine.
No, just do
Alex
a face
together.
swap. Face swap on Melly and Alex. That's what we want to see,
that'd be
guys.
great.
I think I'd look really good as Melly. I'm not going to lie.
You reckon?
Other than my slightly bushy brow, I think I could pull it off.
You get it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I will give. Should we give away a bonus code for whoever does it?
Sure.
All right.
I'll do that.
There we go. We'll do it. If you get
It's
on
happening.
Twitter, use that hashtag WGLEU with a picture of a face swap, or just combining them somehow. You know, just like make it happen. Creativity is down to you.
Shall
That's what
I
see.
pose for a print screen?
Do you want to make a
Okay.
pose?
Wait, hang on.
All right. Get.
So I need to stare down the camera nice and
Right down
straight
the
for your
camera.
face. I'm Melly.
That monobrow might be an issue.
Oh, the monobrow, yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, it's a
Monobrow.
unibrow if you're American.
Is it? Is that what they call
A
it?
unibrow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
How did you
appalling.
learn that
I know
one?
because we have Jason Kaplan upstairs.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
who does?
He can't
firmly
speak
have it.
English. I don't
No,
know. We
well, he
should trust
tries.
him. Yeah.
Bless him. Wow, we go off topic a lot with Alex here.
Yeah, we do.
Alex falls off of chairs. He doesn't know what's going on. But yeah, bonus codes. You've been asking for codes in chat. That's how you get them. Get on Paint if you don't have Photoshop. It doesn't matter how bad it is. If
I'd be more
Worse
impressed
the
if it was
better,
on
I think.
Paint.
Exactly, the worse the better. We still have the horrific things you made for us, where it's me and Ollie being face swapped, and no one knows what's going on. It's horrible.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
It's really
that was a good
horrible.
one as well. Someone
It's
really put
really
some
good.
time.
I want to find out
time
who
and
actually
effort in
made
that
that
one.
because it was actually amazing. But if you are talented in that sort of way, if you do have
It's an
some sort of
interesting
editing
talent
skills,
to have, but
yeah, it's just in face swapping.
might even get a job here, to be honest.
Exactly, who knows?
Graphic skills.
That's it. But anyway, let's get back to topic and start talking about that next map because it's going to be Cliff coming up. And what are your thoughts on this?
Well, yesterday, Dream Leprechauns, they managed to beat School Bus twice on the defensive side, and they will be starting on the defensive side
Okay.
first. So this is my prediction. If Dream Leprechauns win the next 2 rounds, i.e. bring it up to 4-2, you need to get 5 rounds to win, they'll take this one home. If they lose one, or if they lose both, I'll give it to WSD Gaming.
Okay. I'm not sure. I still think it's fairly even. I think we might even have a decider if it keeps going this way.
Could
or at
be.
least I just think they can go back and forward quite well. But then again, both these teams have the ability to also spiral quite badly, that if they just get out of that trend of going back and forward, they can go wrong. But I believe the teams are almost ready to get this one underway. So let's start looking towards getting into game onto this second map. We are still tied at 2-2. Both teams pulling out some great performances on the attacking side of the first map, Hilmersdorf. Let's see if they can pull out the same thing here on Cliff.
So, Nervac's only one heading down the south area. Quite interesting, actually. I mean, it's a little bit dodgy. Snake Guy Finn's probably just going to do a quick spot of him. But I'm going to guess that WSD Gaming wants to go for that early aggression. And I think Dream Leprechauns are going to do very much of the same thing. Snake Guy Finn versus Nervac might give the team the edge, whoever ends up winning that one. But tank lineups, we've got at least one T49 played by Wilkie and one played by DeKilzer on the other side.
Well, let's see how that comes through here, and it's going to be a massive exchange going down in the middle straight away. Honor takes a huge amount of damage. They've replied a little bit towards Message, so it kind of evens out, but This is a bit of a brawl very early on.
Haki's going to have to try and keep Agendi back because at the moment he's doing some great damage from the side. But Nervak's winning against Snake Guy Finn, but Snake Guy Finn has managed to get himself around, and we might see the push onto Message by now from WASD Gaming.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea. He's already down low, but do they have that real sustained damage to take him down? They've received even more than they've given, but finally the kills come in. Message actually goes down first. Killer Pit's left on 1 HP. He will fall, but further fire comes in, and Snake Guy Finn will join Message in the grave. This is going from bad to worse for DRL. They need to start pulling it back, and they've done just that. 4 tanks down now for WSD Gaming. This is incredible.
They just really turned on the heat, coming from left, coming from the right, just doing some great damage. Jack has to try and get out of there. Corrects there and support, though. Nervax does fall, and the Killzor's going to have to try and do some real work here. A lot of the tanks are down low, but Wilkie with that T49. Big
that
damage.
Just destroyed him.
And he does go down.
DRL coming out strong into the second map here. That was such a sloppy way to play it out at the start. It was so, it was a brawl, it was back and forward, shells here and there. But then suddenly DRL just kept their numbers.
Yeah, they didn't crumble. They're coming from each and every angle. I mean, Agenti from the top was my favorite play because he had the foresight to push in and take down Haki. He just kept going and, coming from the right, coming from the left, and, using the fact that Snake Guy Finn was going forwards, and Nervax had to take him out first before going into that position. So it was like a 7 versus 6. And, they kind of used their momentum very, very well. And Wilkie doing some great damage there at the end just to help his team through to the victory. But it was almost an exact mirror of what they had against School Bus yesterday. They just had the better execution, the better positioning, and they kept their nerve on that hill, which really, really gave them an edge.
And that's the perfect way to kick this one off. And I think I still stand by the fact that both teams can spiral on occasion. They're teams that can seem like they're very, very close, and then suddenly it just all falls apart. That's exactly what DRL would have wanted in this sort of stage, just to be able to get that nice, step in the door into this one. We'll have to see how it keeps going on, and obviously Wilkie with that shot at the end then just to completely take the kills, so basically out of the picture. It's beautiful to see, but well handled by DRL, being able to keep up with that fast-paced gameplay coming out of WSD Gaming, who did go back and forwards very early on. They actually had the 2-for-1 exchange in their favor for some time, and it just slipped away. Now, do you think we'll see such a fast-paced game in the second time around?
I think we do. I mean, Cliff has been a fast-paced map. Yeah. My question will be, Honest actually picked up the T54 lightweight as well, so clearly you want to go hull down again. That kind of makes me think that they're going to do the same kind of tactic. I think Nervax could have done a better job taking down Snake Eye Finn a little bit earlier, and I guess the real question would be, are they going towards that left side? Or are WASD Gaming going to play the longer game and actually spiral around the lighthouse? Because that's what we see. We either have that fast brawl in the middle, we have the left side being won out or lost out, or we have the right side being pushed around from the attacking team. The defending team usually sits back, or if they see the other team is actually going to the middle, they play aggressive. And just by the kind of positions that they can get, around that circle and the focus fire you can have, and as long as you have the tank from the south coming into the right position, you can actually win that engagement quite well. We saw it then, and we've seen it timelessly yesterday as well.
Well, many options on the plate now, and so far we do see a slight advantage in the DRL side, coming in with a little bit of a lead into the second map now, but it can all change, it can be adjusted, and WSD Gaming can certainly come back from that. Let's find out if they can do it, though. The teams are now 9 seconds away from kicking this one off. Keep using that hashtag WGLEU. Get involved, predictions, thoughts, and those Photoshop abilities. Get them coming through. And we'll be starting this one off now as the teams are into game. And let's start looking towards what they can bring into this battle here. Second time of asking on the second map now, and I believe in the south. Starting this one off, it will be WSD Gaming on the attack, and in the north it'll be DRL trying to stop them.
Clearly WSD Gaming is thinking that they just made some player errors, some positional errors, because they are doing the same thing again. Nervax goes down south, he had the same spawn so he can go into the same position. The rest of the tanks go into the middle, and the same pretty much goes for Dream Leprechauns, but Snake Guy Finn not going south. That's probably what won them last time, but clearly thinking that they can change things up, actually going for an overall more defensive beginning of this game, and going to play a little bit more slow and let WSD Gaming make the first move.
Let's see if this one plans out for them. I'm glad that they've changed up the pace a little here. I don't like just seeing that all-in play where it kind of comes out, and it just gets a little too sloppy for these guys. I'm hoping they can kind of control the pace a little better and extend a little further. But what do we make of that T49 in position there? Is that the ideal spot for that sort of tank, or what do we make of it?
And to Killzor, it's the perfect position right now. I mean, he's on that hill, great under pressure. He can almost one-shot Crix there in the M41 Bulldog. If he gets even if he gets pretty much the average damage, I mean, 900 is coming out from that tank, that gun, the M155, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Wilkie is not playing in any kind of position where he can do anything about that. He's all the way up and towards the left side, and yes, you know, he is hull down. Yes, he might be able to hit some shells, but it's quite a long way for him to actually hit, and he could find himself unlucky. Also, the 251 is up in the north, and they are spreading themselves out a little bit. And WSD Gaming, if they find that out, they could go for that 251. We saw it happen yesterday. If that goes down, they just need to rotate around and maybe even go for Wilkie. It could go very, very well for them. But they have to actually find that information, and they have to do something with it.
Time will start being of the essence here as well soon enough. DRL do have the defensive advantage, so they can sit back to a degree and just wait this one out. However, you can see Novak's creeping forward a little. Wilkie will be in his way, so he needs to be a bit cautious there. Tier 49, or T49, Tier 49 might do some real damage. Dan Bulldog, if he's not careful, but so far it looks like Novak's being fairly tentative and fairly cautious with it. Just being smart about it all. I'm looking forward to seeing maybe a 1-2 line play coming out from that Bulldog, maybe to get some fire towards Kirix. But obviously there is a 251 standing in his path if he does go too far. But all in all, quite tentative, quite slow. 4 minutes left. What time limit, really, did WSD Gaming have in this one?
It's a very small map, and it's quite hard to run away on. Not that hard, to be fair, because you can jump down some cliffs and basically keep yourself alive, but it is a small map. WSD Gaming are doing the correct thing. They've got themselves onto the hill. They have to really worry about Wilkie. He could even be the first target if he wants. I want to see if the M41s and the 251 pushes down the south to deal with the 251 over towards the left side, and what they're going to do with that as well. The MX-3090 and the T-54 Lightweight are starting to flank around. I think they might be able to catch DRL a little bit with their pants down. As long as they get that hill execution, they have to engage at the same time.
Well, let's wait and see if they do get that full execute correct. It is quite difficult. It's not an easy one. And here we go. A little bit of fire comes through back and forward. Honor and Jack. Jack takes a little more. Gorney receives one from the Bulldog there. Not too much damage done, but they need that final execution to come into play, and we are seeing a big bit of damage coming out of the Tier 40, T49. My God, doing a little bit of work there. Sensei takes a bit of damage, but so far it's not too decisive just yet.
I really want to see what the hill guys can do if they're keeping the pressure on to stop Jack and those kind of guys peeking out, doing too much damage. Honor doing a great job there in the T-54 Lightweight. Also the M41 starting to sneak around. Wilkie's taking a little bit of shells. Kirix also in some trouble from Killer Pit on the side, and he is in a little bit of a no man's land. Nervax trying to do the best he can in a bad situation. Will fall, so the first blood does go Druidian Leprechaun's way.
Well, nicely done there. Nervax going down. Kirix as well being brought to tow. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange thus far. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left now. 3-2 being that scoreline. And Wilkie just keeping himself in the game. He does just have reload now. Honor and Agorni, I'm surprised they're still just sitting there alive in this.
Yeah, I mean, they can be okay there. I want to see Haki and Killzor just take out Sensei. The dead zone's also towards the right. Take out Sensei and Snake Guy Finn. Use Agorni and Honor to push onto a Genti, and Jack can just leave Wilkie well alone. I mean, he's playing a T-49 and kind of a quite a long standoff place, and Agorni is going for it, but they don't have the hill guys to make the move as well, and it has not gone particularly well for them. They have lost a tank. It is a 1-for-1 exchange, but a little bit damage more towards DRL.
Yeah, DRL looking to have to turn this one back around, and the dead zone taking a bit. Did Killzor taking more? And I think he's got himself tracked there. He's not in a great place, but beautiful shot from Killzor coming down the hill. He's keeping on moving. He's going to try and find some cover, but at the moment he's right amongst it. He's going to take another shot there. Message coming around to Killzor, down to nearly a one-shot, I believe here. Message looking to maybe land that one. Doesn't get it. Haki actually takes a bit, but this is a very close game.
Message didn't penetrate that HE shell, maybe a little bit unlucky for him, but Genti does take down Honor there. Dekill's going to try and finish it off. Doesn't need to, as Haki is in support. And he is 4 versus 2. Wilkie, Message have a little bit of HP to play around with, but Haki is still on this hill. He'll be able to provide cover. Killerpit's going to come into the equation as well. The dead zone as well with the M41 is got all of his shells. So the next target is going to be, of course, Message falls.
And now Wilkie, last man standing. A tank that can do so much work would have to go big in this one. I don't think that's going to be quite the case here. 51 seconds left. And Wilkie looking to start maybe making a run for it. Not the fastest second tank in the world, but he does have 40 seconds. I don't know if he can get out of this. DRL's coming around as well. He's going to be spotted very soon.
Close.
And yeah, he has been spotted now. Doesn't make it in cover. DRL landing another stunner on the way through. And my God, we're tied all even. 3-3 here. This game's going to be a long one.
Yeah, that was insane stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. DRL definitely helped his team out. Coming off the hill, take down Snake Eye Finna, then hitting that shell almost on the move against Wilkie, who was moving.
That's massive.
At quite a distance in the T49 was a big deal. 35 seconds left on the clock. Then it would have been a very iffy moment if they didn't hit that shell, because he could have run away in that situation. So big win there for WSD Gaming. And I said in the prediction, if they won this at least one round, I think WSD Gaming might be able to run away with it.
So far into this map, we've seen the first round going DRL's way with quite an aggressive play.
Yeah.
The second round, a little bit more tentative, and that's where we saw WSD Gaming starting to take a real advantage. And they just built off the back of that. They just seem to have this, I feel, slightly stronger play over time. And that's where we saw them picking it up. So currently we're still tied all even, but being able to pick up maybe that side has given you the thought that they could actually do maybe a little bit more work here and might be able to pull it through for WSD Gaming. We'll have to wait and see what they can bring out. It's still 3-3 here. It's first to 5. There's still a lot more to be played for, but back-to-back wins will have to come out for either side to pick this one up, which can be possible. It's certainly doable. It wouldn't be the biggest leap of assumption in the world. But Alex, how's it looking out there in the world of Twitch chat and such? You're kind of in the depth of the internet right now. Is it okay out there?
I'm in the bowels of social media.
The colon of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of rummaging around trying to pull some kind of interesting content down.
Yeah.
But actually, Twitter is looking very much DRL favoured. We've got 5-3 DRL, and you don't fire anyone. That's nice.
Oh, someone supports you.
New Melly can't sit anymore. They're trying to poison her. I don't think so. But we've got 5-3 from someone called PT Fisher, and Kameni saying DRL looks strong. So overall, a lot of people favouring DRL. I suppose it's always that kind of seeing a team come back from what was initially a deficit can be appealing. But like you guys said, it can go either way. Do be sure to, guys, if you want to contribute into the conversation, do be sure to hashtag WGLEU. And people are asking who I am. If you're wondering who I am, if other than Mr. Melly, I do go by the name Machine, and I'm actually a commentator here at ESL. I do lots of games that aren't World of Tanks, so do be sure to check me out. I'm sure my name will appear beneath me with the magic of magic. And I hope you are enjoying this. I mean, this is a pretty inseparable game, you guys.
Yeah, it is. Well played, production.
Well played, production.
Well played.
It said Melik Balgan.
I love it.
Melly.
I love it so much.
There it is. There it is. There we go.
We got best of both worlds in that one.
Mr. Melly.
All right, and just for a treat, because we've taken the absolute mickey out of this beautiful man, I think if production can do it, we can go to my screen quickly. And just to encourage you guys, if you do want to get involved in doing face swaps of any kind, this is a viable option. It happened before, and you got a code, and as you can see, me and Ollie look horrifically terrifying.
I don't know what you showed this, Lauren.
I think it's great. You look adorable. You like a grown child.
Yeah, it's true.
I just look horrific in this one.
I think I might throw up.
I think Ollie looks like an incredible.
Wow.
Yeah,
thanks.
you go. I mean,
yeah, actually, that's quite true.
Little quiff and the little baby. Yeah.
Little baby face. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There's your encouragement of the day, and enough mockery of us. Do get a face swap with the new Melly and old Melly combined, and you will get a code. You've been asking for bonus codes, so that's how you get it, through Twitter with the hashtag WGLEU. If you don't have Facebook, if you don't have any of that stuff, if you don't even have Photoshop, use Paint. Very simple.
Paint's
the best
tool ever made.
It's phenomenal. You can copy and paste.
Got a little arrow. You're gonna click the arrow you want.
It's really good.
It's.
Have you used the spray paint
strong.
Can? It's
that's what I did. That's all I did as a kid.
Making edgy backgrounds with your name.
Yeah, just little boxes all over the place, and then just fill them in with
I did exactly
colours.
the same thing. So I did squiggles, it's just a scribble, and then fill in with different colours. I was really
I'm pretty sure some of the top selling artists do pretty much the same thing.
I think so.
And this is where we get a sudden media backlash. Gamers hate artists.
Well, we've gone and ruined everything in the world, but hopefully not World of Tanks as that started up. Let's get into the game here. 3-3 still the scoreline. And let's see if WSD can start building off this one. They will be in the north on the defensive time, and in the south, having to actually bring the win is going to be DRL.
4 tanks coming from the south.
How many
from
the
both
north?
teams? Both teams gambling. And I think this might be one of the first times we've seen an even matchup down the south, and it will be about the tanks there and who plays better.
There we go, here's the cross hack. He gets a massive amount of damage, but he's still alive, he's still flying through. He does go down, but Snake Life in on a whisker of health. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but where are the others? Where's the backup? Nervax out on a limb. Sensei has cover. Kirex has the high ground. This might go wrong for WSD Gaming.
6 tanks actually up there. Honor's actually flying in, and they're going to have another brute force from the top.
This is unbelievable. The brawl continues. Another will fall for DRL. Make it 3 go down, and suddenly WSD Gaming are back in this one. 3 now remain for DRL, and they're falling like flies. Wilkie and Message, the last 2 standing against the near entirety of WSD Gaming, and that has surely sealed the deal to get on towards match point. Perfect play coming out from WSD Gaming.
Better decision making, better positioning, quicker to the chase, and that's what won it at the end of the day. Both teams were in the same situation, and even Hacky fell first, but WSD Gaming, they stopped at that corner, did some great shells. Maybe not the best idea in the world, but what it allowed was the rest of the team to come flanking off without them being all in one place.
Yeah.
DRL didn't do the same thing when WSD did. WSD Gaming could pinch all the other team's tanks right in the middle and take them down. Just fantastic all-round play. Great shot calling, great decision making.
And I thought at this point, with Hacky going down so early on, I thought, okay, DRL's got this in the bag. They had numbers here. Wilkie, Jack weren't far away, but they just weren't quick enough to the punch.
At this point right now, DRL is winning. They got more HP. It's what the whole of DRL does at the top, which is just sit there, that loses them. Look at WS Gaming. They're so quick to the punch. They're pushing forwards. They're going into position. Jack, Wilkie, and Message can't shoot Honor. They can't even shoot a Gorny. They can barely shoot the Killzor. So it gives WSD Gaming more time to finish off the tanks below. And then Message and Wilkie are easy pickings.
Well, WSD Gaming are now on match point. They only need 1 more win under the belt to walk away with that full amount of points, which would actually do them wonders in that ranking table as well. So this is going to be a tough game coming into the last possible round here. Let's bear in mind, though, if DRL do pick this up, we go to the deciding match. So it's certainly not all done for just yet. And if you guys at home want to get involved, we have a beautiful man waiting in the wings, our Mini Melly. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm putting you to your full use today.
I like Mini Melly.
Mini
Mr. Melly, Mini Melly. I've been a lot of things today.
But if people wanted to join in, how can they do so?
They could visit our Twitter page, which of course you guys have been visiting, and with the hashtag WGLEU and giving us your feedback. I'm about to cough. I'm terrible. I apologise for that.
It's that time of the year. I'll give it to them.
I was going to say I've got lots of germs around.
Get away.
I'm coughing that way. Anyway, I should carry on talking about the social media. I've been talking a lot about Facebook. I'm talking a lot about Twitter. Something I haven't talked about so much, and I think Lauren touched on it, is if you want to watch these games back. I know some of you are joining the chat going, wait, what? How is that game over so quickly? You can actually catch up and watch the VODs back over at the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/WGLEU, and do be sure to check that one out as well. But I will reiterate one more time, is if you want to get involved with the predictions, we've seen a lot of people kind of favouring DRL, and perhaps if you, especially after that performance from WSD, maybe you're starting to question that. Do be sure to let us know over at WSD. Over at hashtag WGLEU.
Let WSD Gaming as well. They've got a Twitter, so
at WSD Gaming if you want to go see them.
Yeah.
Either way, though, guys, I mean, where do you see this one heading up?
Well, we're going to find out very soon. 10 seconds left. I still feel this has kind of gone the way I expected, but I think this might go overtime if it's going to stick to trend. But then I don't know. I think that actually
WSD Gaming on a
they're
roll.
playing
They
better.
have momentum.
Yeah, they've been playing better.
They're making the right decisions, and I think that's why they'll take this last round. But it could go either way. It's gone either way on so many of these matchups, and I think it's going to be a hole they play this time. 7 tanks heading south.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, WSD Gaming are on the defense in the north, and they're not going for it. They're not even going towards the south. Do you reckon they might actually flank in, just because they expect maybe an overmatch down here?
Yeah.
I'm curious if they do.
But technically, right now, unless WSD Gaming screws up, they are in the better position. They're up north. They can do more with it. And Dream Leprechauns will have a hard time there on the lower ground, and they could get flanked very easily.
Wait,
but
are they
WSD
pushing
Gaming,
across the mid?
Yeah, they're going to push straight across, going to find Message. This might not be the best move, but
they could get surrounded.
They'll
here.
find the first tank, and they might take a lot of damage from the side, but still, DRL have to hit the shots.
Well, let's see if they can. So far, a couple of shells come in. Message taking a beating as expected.
It's a bit slow, though.
It is. They're taking their time, and Message should be down by now. They need to get him out of this game. There's already 1390s heading up north for DRL, and they need to make this one quick. Okay, Message now down. They need to kind of account of the situation, and keep in mind those 1390s to the north.
Yeah, the 1390s are a big problem right now for WASD Gaming, because they are all over towards the eastern side, even the southern side of the map. So the cap is underway. It's down to 40 seconds. I think you'll see the cross off by those 251s in the E area.
The T49 going back to stop the cap. That's
dangerous.
dangerous.
It'd be funny because WASD Gaming is the only other team in the league that's managed to cap this one out. It was against Wusa. Can they have a taste of their own medicine? That's the question. But still, they're getting themselves into a good position. I think they might be able to deal with this.
Let's see if they can. 30 seconds. Sensei and Agenti are now coming back to support the 251s here. And Agorni, De Kilzor all coming through. And you can see 22 seconds. Agorni is there. He's taking a bit of a beating, but is he the bait? He's the distraction as the rest are coming around to try and find Jack. But at the moment, DRL are taking this one forward. Agorni can't reset this one. 14 seconds left. DRL could be taking this into the overtime match, but there's a reset. It comes in, but it's not going to be enough to take them down. 55 seconds on this one. And still, 3 tanks down for DRL to the mere 1 loss for WSD Gaming.
But they still have to actually go down and deal with it. That's why Honor's going forwards. Agenti and Sensei on the cross, and they haven't got autoloaders, so they'll be able to do continuous damage. Haki, though, is on the left, and I think he's going to be there in time.
Haki's going to be the main man here. He's going to be the one to make this one happen. Agenti watching Honor, gets a bit of a shell through, does get the kill coming down, but still these 3 tanks will have to face the music as Haki will be moving in towards Wilkie, and that's the tank they want to take down here. Wilkie is the focus. He was the man on the cap. He's the one who's been leading this team. He finally goes down, and now 2 remain. It looks like WSD Gaming have done enough here, pulling out the big boy strats and showing them exactly how it's done, and DRL are left with 2 tanks and very little places to go.
They have to run away, but I don't think there's going to have enough time. They're still on the attack. They still have to win this by capping or by killing all the rest of WSD Gaming, which seems quite unlikely, despite a good shot there by Sensei onto the dead zone. Agenti is on the retreat, spotted, remember, so WSD Gaming will be putting resources. They still got the M44 to the right to deal with them. Haki's also coming from behind. Looks like the next target will be Sensei.
Let's see how quickly they go down. Agenti's taking a bit of a beating there. Now finally down. Sensei is the last standing man for DRL, and he has taken fire left, right, and center. Ladies and gents, WASD Gaming pick it up in the second map there in the final round of it and secure a stunning scoreline.
A stunning scoreline, and the amateur is wrong, so I'm happy that's happened. At least I got it right.
He almost fell off his chair. Don't be mean.
No, it was. Joking aside, it was really, really well done by WSD Gaming, picking up 3 rounds in a row. Yep. They got that momentum going. They got their kind of clairvoyance, and they managed to win it in the end. Drooling Leprechauns, they definitely had some good games there, but just that last gamble didn't pay off. If WSD Gaming had put 4 tanks down below, it would have been Drooling Leprechauns to win it, but it was a gamble, just didn't work.
And it's as simple as that sometimes. I think we've had a very good play day today, though, overall. I think we've had some very good games, which I didn't really expect to a degree. School Bus DTQ definitely didn't expect that one.
Unbelievable.
Still unreal. That is the game you need to go back and look at on YouTube, using that URL that Alex told you earlier, youtube.com/WGLEU, and look out for that one, because it's something that you will not see at all happening again. I'm pretty sure. I don't think the School Bus will ever lose a game like that again, but for the one chance it happened, I'm glad we got to watch it.
It was amazing. Truly incredible. DTQ, all the roster changes, everything they've done seems to have worked out perfectly for them. And School Bus, two losses now, pretty much back to back. I mean, not a loss, but just a few bad results back to back, and that 5-0 definitely puts the icing on the cake for them. Some very untasty, not very nice icing indeed. So they have to go back to the drawing board for sure. They need to have the Annihilator back in that lineup. They need to just work on themselves a little bit if they want to get back into the lead, because they are slipping.
They most definitely are. But overall, I think we've had a pretty good play day. DRL, WSD Gaming, I think it's as close as we kind of expected it to be. 9th against 6th place. They're fairly close in ability as well, but we saw that overall the better team won it, which is it's pretty good that the league's kind of panning out that way now.
Yeah, WSD Gaming needed that 3 points as well.
Yes, they did.
They got to the 11th, so they're heading up towards the top of that table. I think it's even making it even closer now, so that's an interesting factor for sure. DRL can be happy with that performance. I think they're getting stronger. They're certainly on the right track. Made a few mistakes, but they got something to work on. But taking 1 point off School Bus and putting the pain towards WASD Gaming as a result they can be happy with. And I think it's been a great match day. As I said, the biggest result was definitely DTQ. They're doing great, and for them, it's just about improving and getting better.
And of course, we need to close out the show with our beautiful social media guru. How did you find today then?
Today has been an enjoyable experience. I've had a lot of fun, obviously, kind of sitting here trying to type coherent things on Twitter. It's been nice hanging out with you guys in Twitch chat as well. I keep looking at Twitch chat as if I'm looking at you. I know I'm not, but it's been a fun evening, and it's been nice watching some World of Tanks, sampling some World of Tanks, adding perhaps that to my esports I follow.
Oh, nice to hear.
What is Pi follow?
I follow. Apollo? Poultry? Where am I going with this?
It's all just going down.
Going down. No, but all said and done, it's been a really enjoyable experience. A little kind of trial by fire, I admit, and I do apologise once more just for
not being Melly.
It feels odd, but that's what I'm going to do. And obviously, we hope Melly gets back as soon as possible, obviously. And I have to say, if you guys do actually want to know who I am, do be sure to check out my Twitter, which will be beneath me. If it's not, my name's Melly, Mr. Melly, and I'll see you guys as soon as possible.
Indeed. So there's his Twitter before I was going to plug it. So do make sure you give him a follow. Do make sure you give him some feedback from today's show. It's always good hearing from you guys. You're one of the most honest and brutally honest at times communities, but we like that about you guys. We don't like sugarcoating the pill here. So do make sure you give him some feedback there. Do make sure you give him some love as well. Obviously, Machini TV. And that's it from us, myself and Oliver at Laughter WT and at They Call Me Pansy. So guys, we said it's going to be an action-packed week of World of Tanks, and it's not over just yet. On Thursday, the 8th, we'll be kicking off with 3 more games to finish off this play week, and hopefully you guys tune in to see you there.